Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to walk you through the Canadian manufacturing sales trends for February 2016. Here's a little bit about myself. I'm a CPA CGA by trade. My focus is academia, industry, as well as financial solutions. Now, there's many different buckets to look at manufacturing. In general, what you have to do is look at the different pieces because they're driven by different things in terms of the economy itself. Some industries are export driven, so it's something to bear in mind. Some industries support consumer spending, you'll see that as well. And some things are driven or very commodity sensitive. So what I want you to take a look here quickly with this particular graph and chart, you're going to see that we're on a trend line to better our manufacturing sales for 2015, but be back on pace for 2014. But here's the ticket here. In 2014, we were led by the manufacturing sector, by the oil and gas sector. We basically have lost close to $40 billion of annual oil and gas production within 2 years. If we've replaced that with different segments, like if you look at motor vehicles, we're actually up about $22 billion. If you look at paper manufacturing, if you look at wood products and all that, we're up to as well. So if you're really looking at a wholesale changes, you're seeing things here with manufacturing sales where key sectors are actually growing. So anything to do with forestry, food processing are growing. And you're seeing that with this particular chart. This kind of gives you an idea of the overall flow of various sectors. Now the next chart I want to show you here is to focus on key segments. So if you looked in 2014, we were at basically on average for a month, we were basically running about $7 billion a month in terms of petroleum and coal products, natural resources. We're about half of that now in terms of the production now. But look at where we picked up a lot of things. We're picking up a lot in transportation, a lot in food, a lot of forestry. So why are we doing that? Well, food, people are eating more. We're exporting a lot of more agricultural products. Transportation, we're going through a banner year in vehicle sales. So you're seeing that in terms of the overall evolution. And that's something to bear in mind when you're starting to look at things and looking at trends. There's few key sectors that are driving a lot of the growth in Canada. Most of it's automotive, and most of it's to deal with key provinces like Quebec, Ontario, and BC. Where we're seeing laggard provinces that are like Saskatchewan, Newfoundland, and Alberta that are predominantly driven by oil. So that's what you have to look at. The second thing is a misnomer here you want to take a pull back and peel back a little bit about is quickly understand that you can't just look at 1 month. You have to look at a run rate. So if you look at the average for 2016 for the first 2 months, we're actually doing better than we did in 2014 as well as 2015. And that's something to bear in mind. It's the average you have to look at. Are there pressure on sectors? Yes. Automotive likely might see a little bit of a drop in terms of the expectation of production because it's driven by demand. Forestry, again, as long as housing starts are strong, we should relatively see that happen. And if we see some recovery in oil, which they are planning on late in this year, we could see some key factors come into play in those sectors. Now, the other thing that will drive this, some of the government stimulus packages that the federal government's bringing in that may impact transportation as they look at roads and bridges. That may incur where construction companies are buying equipment, so that's something to bear in mind. And you may see some work if the pipelines get built, and that's where we'll get into metal fabrication and supporting in the petroleum and gas business. So these are things to keep in mind as you're doing your analysis and looking outward in terms of planning your business cycles. Thank you.